Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the finest Dawn of War Unification casts this side of East Yorkshire. And today we've got a 1 versus 1 on Fata Morgha. Then on the northern side, as the Chaos Demons, we've got Korn Champ. On the southern side, as the World Eaters, we have got The Happening will be opening with a couple of Blood Pact Warriors, a Blood Pact Command Squad, a Dark Apostle, Massacre Chambers, and a Plasma Generator. Whereas Korn Champ is going to go for a couple of Furies, a Demon Lord, Lesser Demon Portal, and a triple helping of these warp signatures over in the northern corner here. So this is going to be quite the uphill battle for the Chaos Demons, I do believe. In the early stages of an engagement, they do quite like a little bit hit and run. Come down over, bash things up, and then when the morale of the Chaos Demons inevitably breaks, then we've got to go back home, near their structures, regain the morale for doing that whole process all over again. But what do you do when you're up against a faction who loves being hit, and then when you run away, well, they're just going to chase after you. The World Eaters do gain quite the sizable economic boost when they are in melee combat. And melee combat is generally what the Chaos Demons do. I mean, yeah, okay, they've got the Pink Horrors in Tier 1. They can get one squad of them there. So their ranged combat prowess is quite limited. So, I mean, I assume that's what the triple warp signatures are for. Just for an early Tier 2. Maybe some flying units to mitigate that close combat damage that the World Eaters can bring to bear. We're also seeing a Dark Apostle as well, who's resistant against range damage. So just in case any of the Pink Horrors are knocking around, a Dark Apostle can come over. Also provide some generic combat buffs to people around them, I do believe. Here comes the Blood Pact Command Squad, who can get a grand total of... How many people can you get in your squad? You can get quite a lot. I think it's like 12 or something. And in the early stages of the game, only Blood Pact Warriors, they die quite quickly. But they are 15 blue, so remarkably cheap to reinforce. As the game goes on, they're able to get their assassins. They're able to get their bodyguards and stuff, so definitely a flexible thing to take on in the late stages of the game. Demon Lord that throws a big old cone of fire over, causing issues and tissues all around the place. More Blood Pact Warriors do come on over, and activating their furious charges and whatnot, help them stay in the game a little bit longer. And we're seeing some some Screamers. Okay, that makes sense. Come on in, they do the damage, and actually running away for those guys is a lot simpler because they can jump over structures and terrain features. So not a bad choice from Korn Champ here. But definitely not a situation that they want to be in. The burst damage is what's going to get them the winnings, I do believe. Yeah, I'd say so. The more burst damage you can do, the quicker you can break down the World Eaters models, the happier you will be in the long run. It was a Dark Apostle with his wee friends, wherever they are, lost in the melee here. And plenty of blood being spilt. Demon Lord not doing too badly. I mean, his morale's already at half. I suppose that Dark Apostle, he comes out causing all sorts of shenanigans. Got a second squad of Screamers. And no Pink Horrors at the moment. I suppose the idea is that there's no point in getting them because they will just be instantly tied up in close combat. And I assume you're going for a lot of Blood Pact Troopers because you are planning to take up relatively quickly. I mean, what's your... Yeah, so you're on Tier 2 money already. So maybe going to stave off that for a little bit just to see if you can keep these guys in motion. Look at that powerful economy. 1-5. I mean, it fluctuates depending on how many models are in close combat at any one given time. That's still stellar economy for the first 3-4 minutes of the game. And then the Chaos Demons nowhere near. But such is the way of things. Such is the way of things indeed. Definitely need to start manoeuvring around. Maybe get the Demonic Shrine upgraded to do some damage in the nearbys. But the Screamers are Zinch, because they are near their own structures, there is no morale breaking for them. If they can break the morale of the Blood Pact Troopers, that would certainly do them a lot of favours. But they're not going down. They're actually remarkably healthy at the moment. All things considered, Demon Lord now actually quite low on health and morale here. Doesn't seem to benefit from the nearby structures. So he is just going to fall back a little bit. See if they can get some breathing room for themselves. But definitely not a favoured engagement. Like I say, got some lads deciding, oh, they're going to pop double Screamers inside the Lesser Demon Portal, allowing them to teleport somewhere else. Demon Host jumping on over, and I assume you're probably going to be building up a Altar of Korn on this strategic point. I'm not going to go for a Transit Turret. Additional damage coming in. It's definitely not in their favour. Awesome Kornite Raptors as well. It's only a matter of time before we saw these guys. So, are you just basically just doubling down on Tier 1 then? Yes, you are. So you're not bothering even trying to tech up. You're just thinking, right, we've got the advantage. Let's just throw as much meat at the wall as humanly possible and see if we can get that. Screamers see an opportunity there. Demon Host quite low on health. Although, oh no, you are a Kornite Technomancer. Never mind me. A little bit more defensible. Can he get that turret up? No, not quite. Just narrowly avoiding that being set up there. Let's go over to the Demon Host then. Did the Demon Host just transform into a Techmarine? Or did I misread and mispronounce the thing that teleported in? I could be wrong. That's Demon Portal being summoned forth. Fiends of Slash on the way. Those guys will do a lot more burst damage compared to the Screamers of Zinch. Sacrifice the maneuverability for double Scything Talons and a lot of damage, but only 3 models in their squad. You can only get a maximum of 3 as well. It was quite expensive to reinforce at 90 blue money. Gonna go for the second squad as well. Korn and Raps just having a grand old time. They don't care who they're bashing, whether it's Zinchin or Slaneshi, as long as it's something to bash. I don't think demons bleed. Or maybe I could be wrong in that. But either way, still, more melee engagements means more economy for them. It doesn't matter too much. This Demon Portal slowly but surely being broken down one slap at a time by these chain axes of the Blood Pack Troopers. Second squad of Slaneshi. Horsey people are soon to come out, and it seems that the massing of demons is slowly but surely overtaking the World Eaters here. The Fiends Slanesh remarkably healthy at the moment, taking barely any damage. The health regen must either be quite good or they're just not taking that much damage from the Kornite Raptors themselves. I mean, they do all have demon armor. It's been quite difficult for the World Eaters to break down as they've got no specific anti-demon weaponry in the early stages of the game. Challenge to it has been finished, but will be quickly ripped apart by those Fiends of Slanesh. Demon Lord still just hanging in there with a sliver of health. Doesn't seem to be all that bothered about having a lack of morale there. Have you joined the... Oh, let me select something else. Oh, right, so you've joined the Screamers. I assume just to protect you from being single targeted by any kind of units. Dark Apostle though, that is not what he was expecting. Expecting just to chill out and just provide some general support while getting a few licks in there, but no. He's been surrounded by those Fiends of Slanesh and brought down with little care to his well-being. For obvious reasons, another Technomancer of Korn is about to be scorpion-tailed and scythed down. Another Tranche Turret on his way out. Blood Pack Troopers just trying to do whatever damage that they can. But it seems that the demons have just about managed to fend things off by the skin of their ethereal nutsacks. Does that mean that you're taking advantage of this? No, it does not look like it. Your economy is a-booming, but your teching up is not a thing. Oh no, oh, you tech up through the Blood Apothecarian, right? Ignore me. I was looking at the HQ all that time, completely forgetting how the World Eaters work. Silly me, silly buggers. Kornite Raptors coming back anew. And there's currently no warp gate. Oh, we're going to build up 2 lesser demon portals down here for more unit production. Good lord, the assault is relentless. Say that again. The assault is relentless. But finally, morale's been broken on some of these Blood Pack warriors. Are able to access their hit me harder and I'll hit you harder kind of abilities, which then does allow them to regain the morale and make them unbreakable for a limited amount of time, but only really takes 1 squad of Fiends of Slanesh to be able to bring these guys down. They are now swapping out the weaker Blood Pack warriors for the more sturdy bodyguard. Limit of 2 though. Can all start getting their Blood Pack assassins, but they are quite expensive at 100 blue and 40 green. Might not be worth trading that out. I mean, you have done not only the economic damage, you've also done the structural damage as well, so maybe it's time to fall back a bit. Chaos Demons have still got quite the sizable army. 1 Fiend... Oh, they've got 2 Fiend Slash over there. So losing a model on the all-important squad. But they're doing the Chaos God's will. They have now pushed back the World Eaters. What a remarkable defense from Korn Champ there. A lot of players in that situation would just say, you know what, there's no point in carrying on, they're in the base, they're taking us down, may as well just surrender. But no, Korn Champ has Got a bit of resilience about him. One of the key skills of being a good player of Dawn of War. Even in a situation like that, even if you know that you're probably going to lose, holding out just in case you win, and even if you don't win, you learn a few things about stuff. Oh dear, instantly breaking morale on all those demons right there. Definitely not in their favour. They cannot regain the morale until they are back home with everyone else. Contract now throwing down some pink horrors, which will then start blasting apart the altars of Korn. Quite fragile structures in the grand scheme of things, cannot be upgraded like other listening posts. His Blood Pack command squad still being charged around. Morale that I don't think reduces the overall DPS of the demons. It just means that they can't regen health and do take ticks of damage over time. One lonely model of the Fiend Slanesh are having to run all the way back home as the Screamers just continue the assault. Horrors over here being tied up by the Kornite Raptors. We're now also seeing a Berserker Dreadnought just charging on forward. The angry few tons of metal. Also got a flamer on there for good measure. Greater break morale. Definitely the more flamers you can get against demons when they're on your side of the map, the better. Oh dear, leave this poor Fiend of Slanesh alone. He's regaining his morale. Not getting any more friends anytime soon. Dark Circle for demonic upgrades. General health, morale, and all the other things. I actually haven't done a big bit of reading on the upgrades for the Chaos Demons. I should do that at some point in my life, but no, it's just not been on the cards in the few years or so that I've been doing this. Finally going to get into that tier 2. Got economies, whatever this is, and 50 for the World Eaters compared to 133 and 0 for the Chaos Demons. So the economy for the World Eaters very, very reliant on actually staying in that close combat, so they need to maintain a level of aggression to be able to stay economically viable. And they've got plenty of troops already on the field, going for plenty of melter guns to break down buildings and such. Berserker Dreadnought chunking his way through this demonic shrine. Pink Horrors popping out the warp to throw down some Pokeballs towards the Berserker Dreadnought. Not doing an incredible amount of damage, but I assume they'll be able to get some DPS upgrades from their Dark Circle if it stays alive from these Kornite Raptors knocking on its door. We're going to see an Ebon Geist squad, which is like a very flexible kind of Pink Horror squad, able to go anti-infantry, heavy infantry, maybe even go as kind of like a quasi-artillery squad. Plenty of engagements going on. We've got some building bashing from the Raptors here. We've got the Horrors and whatnot being tied up by the Raptors over on this side. And we've also got the Dreadnought, which has been slowly but surely broken down by all this chaos nonsense on the right-hand side. Now going to start coming over and seeing if they could defend their structures. Would have probably been able to get that Dark Circle, actually, a lot sooner if they were using their melter guns rather than the chain axes. I suppose they kind of just lost their concentration and thought, yes, let's just beat more things in close combat. But they do not gain an economic advantage from fighting buildings in close combat. Just FYI, in case you was wondering why there wasn't a huge economic boost for them when they were doing that. And now we've got some Bloodletters from Korn Champ. Taste of their own medicine. Bloodletters do regen, is it health? Yeah, they regen health when they're in close combat, I do believe. To make them ideal for prolonged close combat engagements, which, I mean, against the World Eaters, it's not exactly what you want, but when your economy is now booming just as much as theirs is, it doesn't really matter. Now that you're also able to start turning the tide a lot more efficiently, you've got your Pink Horrors on the back lines for ranged damage, both against infantry and against vehicles, so very flexible range unit that it is. And you've gone for the purple ones, which is vehicle, if I'm reading this correctly. Of course, this doesn't change. Could be right, could be wrong, doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. All we know is that they do damage, and purple is a cool colour, my favourite colour, to be frank. Oh, you've lost your warp portal. That's not great. Have you rebuilt it somewhere else? No. I've got more building units. You have got one building unit over here. You don't have money to rebuild that warp portal, though you are now sent straight back into tier 1. That is very unfortunate. That is not exactly what you want. Now it's going to rebuild the warp gate down over here, which is questionable, considering that the Korn Raptors will be able to see it. But thankfully, we've already got quite a sizable amount of Chaos Demons already on the go for you. So, rebuilding and reteching won't necessarily be a game over scenario for you, although certainly will put the World Eaters in a prime position. They've got their Blood Mechanicum, and they've got plenty of Plasma Generators on the go. Not making much use of their vehicles at this stage. Demons now just charging over on the right-hand side. I'm going to see a couple of Trojan turrets nicely placed behind the Blood Mechanicum, actually. Breaking the morale of the Bloodletters, which I do believe also cancels out their health regen when in close combat. Could be wrong though. Right, let's, they do get in close combat, let's just have a quick ganders. Does that work for you? Nope, does not. Does not indeed, so that's a sad time in the pipelines for it. Going for tier 3 are the World Eaters. The Korn Raptors are just, I don't feel like they're really doing much damage anymore. They're just kind of at least keeping half the demon army occupied, which, you know what I mean? That's all fine and dandy, but if half the demon army is actually a bajillion million demons, you've still got half a bajillion million demons coming out at you. So may as well bring those raptors back over, see what they can do, because these Tarantula turrets are not good to be saving your salt anytime soon. Tier 3 has finished, and here come the Warp Talon squads, the souped up Kornite Raptors more or less, able to rip and tear through many a target. But then again, these models are still demon armor. Berserker, Dreadnought comes straight out, slaps a couple of Ebon Geist, but I suppose he's spoiled for targets really. Wants to sort out all this anti-vehicle stuff, but at least this pulls away the fire from those pink horrors. We're still seeing the Kornite Raptors over here. Now just going toe-to-toe, just one squad of Screamers. Warp Gate is still being built up. Slaneshi Fiends chasing after one other squad. And there's just so many engagements going on at any given time in this match. One Warp Talon squad has been finished. Where are you going to pop those boys? I mean, are you the Warp Talons? No, because they look very similar to the Kornite Raptors. Oh no, they didn't finish. You just cancelled one of them. And now we're going to build your second one. I believe it's a limit of 2. Oh no, it's not a limit of 2. Maybe we can see them from the Korn. There we go. There's one squad over yonder. Look at that. Exclusively only melee weapons, but they are armed with double lightning claws. It's taken quite a long time to break for the Blood Mechanicum though. Giving the World Eaters plenty of time. They've now also seen where the Warp Gate is. They know where the production buildings are, so this is prime real estate for them to focus on. This Lesser Demon Portal still alive though. Dark Circle has gone down, however. Another Demonic Shrine about to go down. If the Fiends Slanesh can just give them a moment's respite, to decide to just engage in melee combat instead before jumping over, giving them the old dozy dirt. But full-blown base trade is on the cards here. I'm going to see a Kornite Technomance just for repairing stuff. Also potentially lose their Blood Apothecarian as well, if they're not too careful. And at the moment, it's hard to say who would win in a base trade, considering that the Kornite Raptors are armed with melter guns and the like. Whereas the demons have got plenty of horrors, but all the morale has been broken, so they are eventually going to die. Well, the health is the health's regenerating because they are getting more models and stuff, I think, if I'm reading that correctly. Or do they health regen, but then they also lose health at the same time, and the health loss is larger than the health regen. And that's just how the coding works. That's what I'm running on the assumption of, boys and girls. That's what I'm running on the assumption of, indeed. Well, it is losing more and more structures as time goes on. And, I mean, while the Eaters are bashing the Chaos Demon stuff, there are things just causing mischief for them, whereas the Demons are just running amok on the World Eater side of things. Wanton gay abandon, nothing's really stopping them. And can't really seem to get another Warp Talons band out, as they were squad capped. Which I don't know if they noticed that. I suppose when you've got a million things to micro at the same time, quite difficult. There we go, you're finally taking out the Fiends of Slanesh. Now time to make work on other stuff, but 2 more squads soon to come out. And if it took them that long to take out one squad of Fiends of Slanesh, it'd take them double the amount to take out, well, double the amount. huge nuisance. World Eater's about to lose their main structure, although the Blood Tower, being a HQ building, has the most health and the highest armor. Are you rebuilding anything anywhere else? Korn people. Can't seem to see anything on the mini-map. Oh no, hold on. You've got one Technomancer over here, so I assume you're going to rebuild stuff down this corner. And a base trade, if you get one production building somewhere in a corner where no one anticipates it or plans for it, that little extra time you have while they're trying to find stuff definitely helps you in this sort of engagement. Warp gate goes down. I assume you are rebuilding stuff on this side. Lesser demon portals. Do you have money to rebuild the full-blown thing? Yes, you do. Good lord, this is just... aha! There we go. That's one way to, as the kids say, flex on the haters. You're just going to rebuild your warp gate inside the World Eater's base. That makes sense. I mean, all your armies here. Nice and defensible place. If you also cap the strategic point, you can then build up a warp signature. Warp signature. That will regain all the morale for your forces. So not a bad idea whatsoever. Now teleporting the Fiends and Slanesh down over on this side. So yep, you can kill all this nonsense as much as you want. Kill all this stuff as well. But they've got this place nice and defended. And this amount of World Eaters I don't think has enough punching power to be able to break through the hordes of demons that are now occupying the World Eater's base. It's a very rare occasion where we see a literal base trade, or where people just trade the actual locations of their bases. Not the exact same thing going on with the World Eaters, but hey-ho. The Warp Gate is now just going to build itself by itself, as the Lost Soul only needs to give it a little bit of a love tap for that to happen. And that Warp Gate being there allows these guys to regain the morale. They'll just jump straight on over. Melter Guns akimbo, attempting to break down this structure as quickly as humanly possible. Ebongeist, Bloodletters, and Athena Slanesh are just being left to see if they can rantangle these guys away, while the rest of the demons go about their wicked and foul business, going for a bit of a search, seeing where they can find the leftover structures for the World Eaters. And they do manage to find structure over here. Technomancer unable to finish it off, and it's the only Technomancer that the World Eaters have left over. So if they lose him, no more structures. Ebongeist now being folded on into. I mean, saving up economy, both players do have quite a decent amount of money left to play with. So the game's still far from over. An odd game, yes. Still plenty to play for. Love the synchronized attacks from the Warp Talons here. Fiends of Slanesh still beating this Blood Tower up. But so long as it's still on the field, doesn't need to be finished, still counts as a production building, even if it can't produce. So I assume you're just going to... I mean, where is the Technomancer now? You're over here. Watch out for those pink covers, otherwise that will get you. Oh dear, dear, you're only very low on health at the moment. Get out of there, young man, while you can. Otherwise, you're going to lose a massive edge on this engagement. There we go. Definitely the pink covers even noticed they've been not air moved, but just regular moved over on this side. Warp Talons now slicing and dicing the Fiends of Slanesh, breaking morale as well. There are less Chronicles Raptors over on this side. The demons seem to have kept them off their side. And the Warp Gate, I don't know if you're finished. Yeah, you are finished building. So you're now officially done. Pink covers now being beaten up by double Warp Talon band soon. Quite a few models low on health in that squad. God, this is so tense. Genuinely have no idea who's going to be winning this. Cheeky little explosion from the Altar of Korn there. Just giving a few demons a lick of blood. Still a couple of lesser demon portals over on this side. They are now just thinking, right, okay, well, may as well just start decapping and recapping things. Oh, was that the Technomancer that went down? Oh no, you're still over here. You're fine. That's good. Well done. Start rebuilding the Altars of Korn. Oh, the economy's so low for them. Without engaging in melee combat, they really, really struggle to keep their income afloat. There are plenty more fightings to be had as the Warp Talons swift on over. Going to cut down several models, and the Bloodletters are on remarkably low health at the moment, although activating a ability which is not helping them actually. It's not helping them stay alive, but will help them do a lot more damage in close combat. The Warp Talons start to fall back a bit. Still not building up any more production buildings. Why is that? Have you? Oh, you've lost. Oh dear, you've lost your Technomancer. I've not built up anything. Oh, that's a mistake right there. Mr. Happening. Now all you've got is your Blood Tower and whatever forces you've got left on the battlefield. Still quite a sizable amount. It's just that the Chaos Demons have now got plenty more buildings for you to break through. In the grand scheme of things, alright, well, Happening says GG, and that is that. What an absolute match. Just constant aggression from the first 2 minutes. Welding is really showing that to play them, just essentially hit things over and over again until you inevitably win. Which in this case didn't happen, but I suppose it wasn't your standard match, was it? It was a case of seeing how you can use your structures to stay alive, doing a bit of base trading, and I think it was those Fiend Slanesh that delayed the Warp Talons and the Kornite Raptors quite significantly. If they were able to break those Slaneshi demons down a lot faster, they would have been able to turn their attention to the buildings a lot quicker and maybe outpacing the Chaos Demons in the base trade. But no, that's not what happened. And losing that Technomancer there was definitely what sealed the deal in for them. So thank you so much, Korn Champ, for sending in that game to the Discord. If you want to support the channel, have a look at the old Patreon. £1 a month gets you once a game a week, and there is also a Discord where Discord things happen. Links in the description as always. As been Mr. Landshark, pleasure as always, never short, and I will see you in a bit. Peace.